right here in the country, affecting quite a number of Kenyans across the country. All right, so from that, we want to move on to a political beat, and we understand that NASA presidential candidate Raila Odinga is this morning meeting with people living with disabilities at the Railways Club. The meeting was organized by Evans Kidero, the NASA candidate for the Nairobi gubernatorial position. Let's now link up with my colleague Patrick Amimo, joining us live from the Railways Club. Patrick, thank you very much for joining us. Now, this is really not the first meeting that we've seen. Raila Odinga meeting people living with disabilities. He's had one with women and the youth. What is really the agenda of this one? Or is it just, one of the meetings in this campaign season?
Thank you, Betty. This particular meeting has been specifically called for people with disabilities, especially in Nairobi area, who are going to meet the NASA principal together with the Nairobi Governor, Dr. Evans Kidero. And it's very, very important to realize that at least 10% of the Kenyan population is believed to be with at least disabilities, various forms of disabilities, either blindness or maybe physical disability or maybe psychological disabilities. But then these people require to be mainstreamed into the political arena and other decision-making processes. That's why it's very, very critical that this particular meeting is in place. And even in the Constitution, it's now allowed that people with disabilities, especially when it comes to the elective positions, they should get at least 5% of the slots should be reserved for people with disabilities. Just joining me here is at least I'll be talking to some members of the PWDs who are here, and with me is Mary Achieng, who is the coordinator of this particular caucus. Mary, labda tueleze mbona haswa hafla hii mkoona muandae leo?
Mimi nilifikiria juu vile Nairobi tuko na shida hapa na pale, na Dr. Evans Kidero ni mtu anapenda watu, lakini niliona juu hakuna mtu anamfikishia message ya walemavu, ilinibidi nitumie plan B mpaka nikapata hiyo jina plan B ndio tufike kwa governor. Na najua Dr. Kidero, governor wa Nairobi, ni mtu wa kusikia na kuelewa. Na nilimwambia na nikamhakikishia wale wanasema walemavu wana kura, tuko na kura na ataonea siku ya leo.
Na hasa nini baadhi changamoto zipi ambazo muo mnapata kama walemavu na ambazo labda mngependa hawana siasa waweze kuzishughulikia? Ile
changamoto tunapitia kama sisi walemavu, kwa ya kwanza mambo ya basari iko na discrimination hali ya juu. Ya pili, tungeomba Dr. Evans Kidero wa Nairobi pale kwa City Hall. Kuna challenge kubwa sana kwa sababu unapata hizo offices hakuna ile metengewa walemavu hasa. Ukienda hapo unaambiwa si hapa. Inafika mpaka pale tufanye fudo ndio tusaidiwe. Na tunaomba Governor Kidero ofisi atuwekee ofisi, basari itengwe, kasi itengwe, watu wa sport wale wanafanya sport wapate accessibility vizuri bila kusumbuliwa City Hall.
Na hasa naona unajiita plan B. Hii plan B ni nini? Mbona unaitwa plan B?
Mimi naitwa plan B kwa sababu mara mingi siaminiengi plan A. Juu nikienda mahali naona ingii, nasema hapana. Kuna ingine bado ninaweza tumia. Ile kutumia inafanya nijise plan B. Ni kama maandamano, hiyo ni plan B bado.
Na sasa kama labda walemavu wale watu wana sehemu kadhaa tofauti kadhaa za ulemavu, sijui ni plan B ipo unataka kutumia labda kuona ili maslahi yenu yameshughulikiwa?
Ningependa walemavu wote wale wako kila mahali Kenya mzima, wako na coordinators, wako na chairman zao. Au machairman wako hapo wasikuwe mafisi ya kukulia tu wenzao. Mimi sipendi kukula vitu ya walemavu wenzangu. Ndio unaona sikuli vitu ya walemavu, ndio unaona walemavu wamejaa hivi vile wamejaa. Kama ningekuwa mtu wa kona walemavu wangefika hapa. Na naomba wale watu walemavu wengine pia watenge kikao kama hii leo niko nayo hapa.
That is Mary Achieng, who is also popularly known as Plan B. She says she'll strive to see that people with disabilities are mainstream. And maybe joining me is Julia, who is also one of the people representing the ODM political caucus with representing people with disabilities. I don't know, why is it very important for you to have this particular meeting here today with the governor and possibly the NASA presidential candidate Raila Odinga?
Okay, thank you. One, as persons with disabilities who have been neglected and who have been marginalized, they look politically, economically, and even socially. The reason as to why we came up with the ODM Disability Caucus was to try and streamline disability into governance. And that's why the main reason why we started these particular programs. In fact, this particular program started when we formed the ODM Disability League, which was way back last year around December in Orange House. which was actually attended by the party leader himself, and he endorsed this particular caucus. We have had various caucuses meetings in Kisumu, in Mombasa, and in Kilifi.
Just let him, maybe to get, maybe your last question, what important message would you want to drive to your leaders as you meet today in regard to political mainstreaming?
The Constitution specifically spells out the gains that have been realized by persons with disability. There is a provision for 5% for persons with disability representation across the board, be it appointment and even political, both appointment and elective. And so we want to advise our leaders as persons with a disability. This is not maybe what I can term as something that we are maybe trying to. Okay, let me put it this way. This is something that is a provision by the Constitution. It is our right. We demand for this. There is no way we will let people with disability to be sidelined, yet our Constitution that we are part of making as a process, we are part of a Constitution-making process. We fought hard for our rights as persons with disabilities to be enshrined in the Constitution. This is our right. We are demanding for it, and we will not relent. We will have to ensure that persons with disability are respected. Our rights are which are gainfully provided by the Constitution, are given to us. It is a demand. We are demanding for that. And
thank you. That is the views from people with disabilities. We'll be interacting more with them as time goes by. Remember also one of the manifestos of NASA is that the third pillar has to do with people with disabilities. So it's very, very critical they are here, and they will be listening to some of their views on how they intend to be mainstreamed. From here to the Railways Club, Betty, it's Patrick Amimo, back to you, Betty.
All right, thank you very much, Patrick, for that. He's reporting live from the Railways Club here in Nairobi, where Raila Odinga, who's the NASA presidential candidate, together with the Nairobi Governor Evans